Real estate wholesaling is a super hot topic right now, mainly because there's such a low barrier to entry. In 2025, I fully expect that there'll be a major shift and put us right back into a residential seller's market for single family homes. If you've saved a bit of cash and you might think that real estate could help you quit your day job, there's also a good chance that you take a few losses, pack your bags, and never return. My name's Colin Mitchell, a guy who came from nothing, built 4 successful businesses, exited 3 of them. And in March 2023, I decided to go all in on real estate. Today, I want to help you answer one simple question. Do you really want to get into real estate wholesaling? Now, before you start typing in the comments, just send me the course. I'm not here to sell you anything. There's no service, there's no course, no community, no group coaching. I just really like creating content about what I do. And if you don't believe me, type my name in any podcast or YouTube platform and check hundreds of episodes that I've done, whether it was me hosting my own podcast or guesting on other shows, particularly around B2B and sales. But do me a favor, please like and subscribe, and you might learn a thing or two. My circumstances allowed it to be a lot easier for me to get into real estate. Now, the barrier to entry, specifically around wholesaling, is you don't have a lot of money, and it's fine. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 14 years, and through that time, I've been able to successfully sell a couple of businesses. So we sold all of our stocks, and we decided to go all in on real estate. And I had enough money to start investing in properties, doing flips, buying rentals, and then we naturally started wholesaling because we started direct to seller marketing and we started getting more properties than we had an appetite to buy. The reason I decided to go all in as real estate is before we started to get into real estate, my wife and I used to listen to one of the top real estate podcasts pretty regularly for almost 2 years, sitting on the sidelines, really just educating myself. And everything that I had done previously served a purpose as far as making money, paying our bills, saving, and providing a lifestyle for me and my family. But there was nothing that I really did that I was super passionate about. So I was always very interested in real estate. And I also knew to build long-term wealth that real estate was the answer. And so we had to get started somewhere. And one of the things that I would say was really attractive to me is the ability to take days off, to come in when I want and do things like that, which I didn't have before because I was always kind of in this rat race of living and dying by my calendar. Being in real estate has allowed me to say yes to more things, specifically around family time. I don't feel like I'm neglecting my work or I'm under this constant pressure to perform. Also, there's a long-term goal where the work that I do today is setting us up to be more and more passive over time. Now, don't get me wrong, real estate is not all passive, regardless of what everybody might tell you, especially somebody who's selling a course. But if you are slowly building over time, there will become a point where you have a pretty significant amount of passive income, which gives you even more ability to have time and flexibility. I would say every deal that we've taken down, and we did over 40 deals last year, have not gone perfectly. There's flips that we've done that, didn't pay off the way that they should. There's situations that we've had to deal with like squatters in our house. So it's not always perfect or a straight line to making money. So you definitely need to have some reserve. I would say whatever your personal expenses are, I would try to minimize those as much as possible so that you know what you need to live on. And I would say give yourself a 6-month runway where if you made absolutely nothing, you would be fine. That's how I would recommend it to play it safe. And then if you have absolutely no money to invest in real estate, there's definitely ways to get started with wholesaling, specifically sourcing deals off of, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, etc. But the number one skill is sales and negotiating with sellers and finding good deals. So on the sales side, you're talking to whether it's agents, if you're buying on-market deals, or you're going direct to seller, you're talking to sellers and you're understanding how to negotiate price. Sales skills is essential to being successful in real estate. And then marketing skills are also very important. If you're not as savvy on the marketing side, then you could outsource some of that depending on what capital you're working with. If you want to just put in some brute force effort on the marketing side, then I would say a good way to start would be with cold calling. You can pull lists of properties. You can skip trace those and get phone numbers and actually make those calls yourself. Once you start to actually make some money, you can either hire somebody to do those calls, or maybe you can outsource it. If you are savvy on the marketing side, then you might take the route of actually running your own Facebook ads or Google ads, or maybe you do direct mail, if that is sort of the skill sets that you bring to the table when you're getting started in real estate. But if you have marketing skills, you're still going to need sales skills in order to be able to negotiate deals, get deals to the closing table, and find deals that actually make sense, that have upside for you. I'm going to share with you a quick example. This is something that I actually implemented more recently. It was a skill set that I've had over years of building many companies, but never really thought to bring it to the real estate game. So what you're looking at here is a cold email campaign where I am reaching out to real estate agents. Surprisingly, there's a lot of real estate agents that like working with investors. There's also a lot of real estate agents that tend to get a lot of off-market deals. Off-market deals are where you're going to find the best opportunities, and those are going to be discounted properties. And why would an agent want to sell a property off-market? Because a lot of times those properties aren't in good enough condition for them to list. Or if they did list them, anybody buying that property isn't going to be able to buy it with a conventional loan because of the condition. Off-market distressed properties are where you find the best deals. You can go to direct to seller to find these. You can look sometimes on the MLS, but you're not going to find a lot of them. Or you can reach out to agents. And so what I implemented here is a cold email strategy where we're reaching out specifically to agents, letting them know that we are a buyer in their market, telling them what we're looking for. We're getting almost a 7% positive reply rate, which has generated about 30 opportunities. Agents have brought us deals that we've then analyzed as a potential deal that might be a good fit that we're looking to buy in that specific market. So this is an experiment that we ran just in one market. Now, we're actively looking for deals in about 15 markets today, so we will start to roll this out to others because it has proven to be very successful for us. We had a property that we purchased. We were flipping this property and we had it under contract. And literally the day before closing, the basement got flooded with water. Now, naturally, that means there's a foundation issue. The basement didn't properly have waterproofing, and we immediately went into how we could solve this problem. We got quotes that were all the way from $10,000 to $40,000, and it was hard to trust what the right solution was. Luckily, I underwrote this deal properly where we had multiple exit strategies. We were able to get out of that contract. We were able then to pivot and turn that property into a rental that now cash flows for us today. And we were able to pull out a majority of the money that we had put into it by refinancing. I'll give you another example. We have a property just last week that we were getting ready to list. And the gentleman who takes pictures for our listings showed up at the property and found out that there was a squatter that had been living in our property. This property was fully rehabbed, ready to go, picture ready, and the person that had been staying there caused a ton of damage. So locally, we built a lot of relationships in this market. We were able to get somebody to go over there pretty quickly, lock everything up, clean the place up, but there still was about $8,000 in damage. So that's why it's always important to have reserves and not be too strapped living month to month in real estate, as well as underwriting your deals with buffers for any sort of unexpected things that come out. Now, on that property, we probably are going to about break even, which in this case is still a win because as long as we're not losing money, we were planning to make money on this property, but because of this situation, we're most likely going to break even. We might make a little bit. The main point here is you will incur many stressful situations. And so you need to have the tenacity to be able to push through, deal with those situations and remedy them quickly because ultimately in real estate, time is money. And if you ponder or you don't know how to deal with stressful situations, you are going to have a hard time. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you're still kind of wondering, is real estate for me? Is it not for me? That's a decision that you'll have to make on your own. Depends on some of the traits that you have, how you're able to deal with certain situations, what your capital looks like. Do you have money? Do you not? There's a lot of factors that you would have to decide personally on whether real estate is the right path for you or not. But I can promise you this. I will share with you everything that I learned along the way, everything that I've already learned from doing over 40 deals just this last year. And I'll also be sharing you my journey along the way as we continue to build towards our $100 million portfolio.